Nice to meet you too, sir. Yes.
Where are you located?
I'm here in Dallas, Texas.
Right on. Okay, cool. Well, I'm in
Yes, sir.
Kansas City, Missouri, so it's great to
Okay,
meet you.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
great to meet you.
yeah. So before we get into your work as a coach and all of the good things that you're doing, I want to begin our conversation with 4 years ago in April, we were all getting our head wrapped around this pandemic. And now that we've kind of come out of it, I'm curious, how did you survive that time period and how did it change you?
Yeah, that's awesome. Great questions. I was actually in the Army during that time.
Okay.
Yeah, I had just went in the Army. Actually, I went in the Army February 4th. February 4th was my first day getting in process through basic training. And so I think all the stuff hit the fan probably like a week after that.
Uh-huh.
So we're like just sitting there, we're emptying our bags out, we're getting ready to start processing through basic training in the Army. And they're like, we just want to let you guys know that the world's ending out there. And we're like, what? And they're like, yeah, just want to throw that out there. So we're already freaked out because
Yeah.
we're already away from our families. We're already like, people are tearing up because they're treating us like shit. We're like, oh
Yeah.
man, what did we do? And
Yeah.
then they come at it with that news. They're like, good thing is they're fighting over toilet paper in the stores, but you guys ain't got nothing to worry about that. We got closets full of toilet paper. So
That's
yeah, it was
wild.
that. I'm sorry.
That's wild, man.
Yeah, yeah. It was we didn't have a normal basic training because of that.
Hmm.
So we were already getting yelled at regularly because that's part of basic, but
Yeah.
now we're getting yelled at because we're not 6 feet away. Now we're getting yelled at because we don't have a mask on.
Wow.
Now we don't get to have our graduation to where our families get to visit us. We had a graduation with the stands empty. Typically, there's always a point in the middle where you can go home to your house from basic to AIT. We didn't have that transit. We went straight from a bus from basic to AIT. So it was just a mess. And I remember mentioning that, like, man, if we would have just had the normal basic training, because I think even the sergeants were frustrated.
Yeah.
I'm like, if we would have had the normal basic training, we would have been getting screamed at, regular working out, do push-ups. But we're getting screamed at because we're not close to each other. I mean, because we're close to each other.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is not normal. So, this sucked, and yeah, it was pretty crappy.
Man, that's intense. So let's go right to modern day. I put you in front of a bunch of third graders at career day. One of the kids is curious and says, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" How do you answer that child?
I help people be healthy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the main
Okay.
thing. Health is wealth.
That's it. So
Yeah.
what did you want to be in the third grade? What was your dream?
I was actually wanting to be in the Marines.
Okay. All right.
Yep. Yep.
Right on. So talk to me a little bit about exactly what you do. How did you decide coaching was your way? How did you decide that you were going to start taking care of people?
Man, I love that question. So I was actually a strip club manager for about almost 10 years.
Okay.
And I've done probably every drug in the book besides heroin and crack. And I mean, if you want to add cocaine in there as like crack, then I guess I've done crack as well. But yeah, meth, coke, alcohol, shrooms, acid, Xanax, lean. I mean, all the prescribed medications. I've done so many different varieties of drugs, mixed them up, all that crazy
Right.
stuff. And then, of course, an addict for porn and all this crazy stuff. I was a strip club manager for almost 10 years. I was really good at it, by the way, six-figure earner, all that, killing it, crushing the game.
Yeah.
And I always had a desire for personal development. On the side of working there on my free time, I would read books, Napoleon Hill, Robert Kiyosaki, Law of Attraction, Think and Grow Rich. And then I would also dabble with the Bible. And so it was weird because I would read all this stuff. And then when I would go back to work, it would kind of screw my head up.
Yeah.
I was also very into fitness. I was very into health, meditation, working out, sauna, cold plunges. I was into all these things that were self-help, that are healthy, and that are like things that take you to the next level of life or that, personal development, right? Human excellence. And I'm working at the strip club and I'm seeing customers get drunk and I'm seeing girls do things that they probably don't want to do, but they're doing it to get some money to pay their bills and stuff. And I'm seeing people fighting and then I'm fighting, and I'm like, this ain't good for me because, a real leader stands firm and doesn't act with emotion because I'm reading all these personal development books, but then I'm acting with emotion when I go to work. And it started screwing my head up towards the end of that 10th year, almost hit 10 years. And I would see a lot of videos, entrepreneurs, Andy Elliott, Wes Watson, other guys And that's when I decided, I would see these guys talk about this stuff. They're like, dude, what do you love doing? I'm like, dude, I love fitness. I make prep meals all the time. So I'm big on nutrition because I like my muscles to show, my veins to show. So I've hacked it. I figured it out how to do it. And I'm big into mindset, discipline. I wake up at 3 a.m. 7 days a week. I do my whole morning structure, which takes about 2 hours, is guaranteed gonna happen 7 days a week, no matter what's going on in my life, whether there's a death in my family or there's a brand new baby born. This my morning structure will happen at 3 a.m. no matter what. So that's discipline. And I'm like, dude, people are lacking discipline nowadays more than ever. People are lacking nutrition nowadays more than ever. People are lacking fitness nowadays more than ever.
Mhm.
I'm like, dude, I'm gonna just go follow my dreams and I'm gonna go do this stuff and help people with those things right there.
Who's been a hero for you, an inspiration?
Man, that's a tough one. I would say, really, man, this is gonna be weird, honestly. All the self-help gurus.
Yeah.
Really, it sounds crazy because there's not an immediate family member that really helped me out, honestly. If
Yeah.
anything, they would criticize me and think that I'm crazy. So I really just started keeping everything to myself, and they would wonder why I never visited them or like, why aren't you ever around? It's like, dude, y'all's energy is so low, man. And you guys just knock. If you guys ask me what I'm doing in my life and I tell you my dreams, you guys just knock it out of the water like it's weird.
Yeah.
So really just self-help gurus, listening to Robert Kiyosaki read his book. Wes Watson, Stephen Arnio, who passed away, rest in peace, Stephen Arnio, Andy Elliott. I mean, all these guys. I mean, I even had an ex-girlfriend tell me one time, Steve Weatherford. I don't know if you know Steve Weatherford. He won the Super Bowl with the Giants. He lives out here in Frisco. I'm in his ministry, Champions of
Yeah.
Christ ministry. I go to his house every Tuesday and do prayer. But
Nice.
I go to these events and I take them serious. I travel all over the US to go to these seminars, workshops, and I invest a lot of money into it. And when I had an ex-girlfriend tell me one time, and I thought about it, right? She said, you've always wanted a father so bad, because I never had a father. She's, I
Yeah.
can just tell you've always wanted a father so bad that you just get these guys and you just hang on to them and you want to do what they say and all this. And I got to thinking about it. It kind of hit my heart at that moment, like,
Yeah.
oh, snap, you know?
Yeah.
Like I was like, I think she's kind of right. Because I would get obsessed with these guys.
Hmm.
Like I want to learn from them. And yes, whatever you say, like I want to be the best I can be. I've never had anyone guide me. I don't ever had any leaders.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's true. I'm sorry, but it's true. I've never had leaders. I've never had a father figure in my life. My mother, she was a drug addict. Our house got raided when I was in middle school,
Wow.
with task force. My mom sold meth and heroin for about 40 years, and my whole family. I came home from school on Friday, my freshman year, and my mother's arrested. My uncle, my stepdad. Well, he's not even like he's the father of my sister, who was like just like my mom's boyfriend. And my cousin, everyone arrested. So I grew up in a trap house.
Yeah.
I grew up seeing that stuff, and then I became a strip club manager. I've always been around women, 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 women,
Yeah.
and low, weak. I've always been around weak people.
Yeah.
So yes, I look at Steve Weatherford and Andy Elliott and Stephen Arnio and Robert Kiyosaki and Wes Watson. I do look at these dudes like father figures.
Yeah.
I what they say on their YouTube videos or in the books, I try to do. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. They say get sober. I'm like, oh, I'm doing that. They say
Yeah.
go to the gym. I'm like, oh, I'm doing that. And yeah, I've always wanted someone to tell me the right thing to do. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So if you can meet one of these self-help gurus, who would you love to meet and talk to and hang out with?
Um. So I meet with Steve every Tuesday. So I'm already seeing Steve all the time.
Yeah.
Um. I love Wes Watson. He's awesome. Andy Elliott. I've met Andy Elliott in person, but it was a quick conversation. You know who I really wish I would have met, honestly, and he already passed away, is Stephen Arnio.
Yeah.
Stephen
Yeah.
Arnio. He passed away while I was in the army, and
Oh,
I was finishing AIT. And the mother of my kids knew how much I loved his book, Hard Times Create Strong Men, and how much I used to listen to his videos. And she's like, "Well, I want to tell you something. I didn't have any communication with the world." I'm like, well, "What's going on? What?" She's like, "Stephen Arnio passed away. This is during
no.
the pandemic." I'm like, "What? No." She's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I was going to enter his mentorship like right after AIT."
Yeah.
And it really like stunned me. So yeah, I love all these guys. I would love to meet them all, but if there's one that I could have met, and I think because he passed away, is Stephen Arnio.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. You're obviously highly driven, very disciplined. You're giving a lot to your clients. What is that fuel for you every day to do this? What is the ultimate motivation for you to not only help others, but to maintain yourself and to develop as a human?
I feel like it's a purpose. My company's called Purpose Warrior, and I ever since I've gone into this path of self-help, human excellence, I feel like I'm tapping into the my higher conscious, which is God. I've always heard the devil, which is this shoulder, like the cartoons,
Yeah.
do the drugs, go with the hooker, go smoke the drug, go smoke, go do this, go drink the alcohol. And I think for the first time in my life, since I've gone on this path of self help and entrepreneurship and helping others, I feel like this angel is now starting to speak more. And I feel like that's God. And I try to listen to it a lot more. And I feel like it's telling me, like, yes, keep going, help people. You're on the right path. Keep going. This is the right thing. There's a lot of people struggling with alcohol and drug abuse, and you're helping people through discipline, stray away from that. Keep talking about your story on social media and on your YouTube pages. Like, keep spreading this. This is what I have you doing, right? So I think now it's more of just a purpose or what God has for me. And I'm doing my best to listen to him
Yeah.
on what he wants me to do. What my higher conscience. Different religions call it different things. I choose just to call it God, Jesus Christ. Everybody calls it different things, and I respect everybody's faith, everyone's religion, everyone's spirituality. I believe that we're all onto something. There is something special there that is good and is telling us to do good things.
Yeah. So, what has been one of your favorite client success stories so far?
My favorite client success story is, I think, my friend Brian. My friend Brian, he's a lawyer out of New Jersey. I live here in Dallas. We've never met in person, but we talk my clients become my best friends.
Yeah.
Literally, we text every day, all day. I mean, these literally, I'm so happy that I'm in this industry real quick because, like, the mother of my kids sells life insurance, right? And I never try to knock her, but I'm like, look, life insurance, you sell a policy, and then more than likely it's like your policy sold. You might be in contact with them a week or two, and then it's like they go live their life and whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, this industry that I'm in contact with my clients every single day because this
Yeah.
is fitness, nutrition, and mindset. I am in contact with them every day until the subscription ends or until they decide to say, hey, I want to be on my own.
Yeah.
But I'm like, they're my friends. Hey, how you doing, brother? But anyways, that's why I love this industry. I text my clients every morning, no matter what. I text them before bed every night. Throughout the day, I'm texting them. We're texting each other. We're motivating each other. We're sending each other different meals. We're sending each other different workouts and stuff, giving each other tips to just be better, books, all that good stuff. But yeah, he's my favorite success story because he didn't look too well. He didn't look too well. He kind of the front part just kind of like hanging, and he stuck to the nutrition plan that I gave him, the macros plan, which is very disciplined, very strict. I made all his workouts and he was doing it all. Plus, he was doing the extra and going out and running miles every single day. And man, it's beautiful because
Yeah.
he's looking amazing, man. He's looking great. And I'm like, we're gonna get you a six pack. We're gonna get you right. And he's like, I'm like, as long as you do what I tell you, dude, we're gonna get you there. His discipline is gone up. I'm like, this is gonna raise your baseline discipline.
Mhm.
It's gonna raise it. And he's like, dude, I'm like, you feel like a warrior, right? He's like, dude, I feel great. I feel like a warrior. I feel strong. I feel bold. I feel confident. I'm like, this is why we're doing this, brother.
Yeah.
This is a lawyer. I'm like, now you're gonna walk into that courtroom, dude, and they're gonna be like, man, who's that guy right there?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So you have to dispense good advice to your clients. What's the best advice you've ever gotten?
The best advice that I've ever gotten is it'll probably be from Wes Watson. He's told me so many great things, but yeah, the best advice I've ever gotten from Wes Watson that I've gave back to my clients is, you know, our results of life out here is a reflection of what's inside.
Yeah.
Life's a mirror, not a window. When I heard that from Wes Watson, it really changed everything. And I tell my clients who a lot of these guys are great in their industries. They're just lacking that right there. They're lacking the nutrition, the fitness, the health. And I just let them know, dude, you change that. Because I got life insurance clients too who sell life insurance. I'm like, you change your fitness, your nutrition, your health, you're changing what's inside. I'm like, you're about to skyrocket on clients.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys are about to get so much more love. You're going to look more like a leader. You're going to look more like an example. People are going to want to work with you
Yeah.
when you get this area fixed. So, and I tell them, life is a mirror, not a window. You fix this mirror, dude, and you're going to freaking skyrocket. And that's the best advice I've ever gotten.
So, of all of these things that you've done in your life, you've evolved to this point. If you had a dream tonight, ran into the 18-year-old version of you, and you could give that young version of you a piece of advice based on the wisdom you've gained so far, what advice would you give your younger self?
Oh man, I love this question. Mindset.
Yeah,
Mindset, man. That like now at age in my early 30s, mindset is the biggest breakthrough I've ever had. And I've used to hear it because I read Napoleon Hill Think and Grow Rich when I was like 24. But I'm like, what? How does mindset create this? Well, it makes no sense, right? No, mindset is what it is.
yeah,
You get them like I would just tell my students, so dude, just get books on mindset, read about mindset, look up scriptures in the Bible about mindset, just flood yourself with learning everything you can about the subconscious mind, the conscious mind, and mindset, and how your mind creates your reality and like just that. That would just tell you, dude, just dive into mindset.
yeah. So, of all of the things that you've done and evolved into in your life, what are you the proudest of?
Persistence, never giving up.
Yeah,
All the crap we know with the house getting raided when I was a young teen and me being a strip club manager and all the fights and the drug addictions and the alcohol and the wrecks and the fighting with the mother of my kids and just being a hole to my family and just and losing everything, getting robbed, my house getting jacked and you know all the negative things and I'm still pushing strong. I'm
yeah,
vulnerable. I talk about it on social media because I know others are going through the exact same thing. And I let them know that I am the example of crap coming out of crap and then turning it into something beautiful.
yeah.
So
Right on. So, everyone has a perception of you, family, friends, clients, but you run the show. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
a great leader.
Yeah,
That's my perception of me. Just a great leader. I always see myself, I like to close my eyes during this. If things went to crap, let's say the dollar collapsed and electricity went out, right? Like, you know, the worst of the worst that could happen and everyone just went mayhem. That's where I feel that I would be, let's go. Leadership on max. We're going to get through this. Grab my hand. We're pushing through. I was in the military as well. So that helps out. I'm like, we're pushing through. We're
yeah,
gonna get through. There's no electricity. Everything's going crazy. The dollar collapsed. There's no food. We're gonna get through this.
yeah,
We're not gonna freak out. And I'm the leader. Let's go. So
yeah.
that's the ultimate of self that I want to be that individual.
So, this is the perfect opportunity to ask you if anyone out there wants to hire you, reach out, learn more about you, any of the good business, where do they go?
Yeah, on Instagram, official Juan Alvarez all together, or on YouTube, Purpose Warrior Juan Alvarez, Purpose Warrior Juan Alvarez. Also on Facebook, just look up Juan Alvarez. But my main thing is Instagram and YouTube. Those are the
Right
main
on.
two. Mhm.
I love it. Juan, man, you got great energy, man. Keep doing the good work.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I am so grateful, truly grateful. Thank you so much.